Oh yeah. The city air is heavy with demands I couldn't meet. I left my posture perfect on the curb outside the street. Tried to smooth the static in my voice, tried to hide the fray. The 9 to 5 is how I act, and I was losing my footing today. I carry the weight of a borrowed suit and a smile that had expired, and I knew the moment I turned the key that performance wasn't required. No need for the armor, I can feel it fall away the minute your hand finds my neck, chasing the tension away. Outside the pressure cooks, but in this orbit, darling, the atmosphere is quiet, the air is finally warming. You're the only place I can dismantle and let the jagged edges show. You don't need the shine, just the truth of the texture. A little broken, moving slow. This is where the walls come down to whisper. You catch the pieces before they hit the floor. You see the cracked porcelain, you see the velvet lining. Baby, this is 74 degrees, and I don't need to be polished anymore. I walked in dragging 1,000 petty failures and some doubt, the kind of nagging fears that I can never seem to root out. I show the world my edited highlight reel, my curated calm, but you know the panic I hide under high collarbones, sheltered from the harm. There's a small anxious child tucked in the corner of my mind, and he only lets his guard down when your patience I find. You don't rush to fix it, you just lay the gentle hand, a quiet understanding that I don't always have a master plan. I take the deepest breath now, feel the oxygen ignite, the residue of yesterday burning off in your light. Outside the pressure cooks, but in this orbit, darling, the atmosphere is quiet, the air is finally warming. You're the only place I can dismantle and let the jagged edges show. You don't need the shine, just the truth of the texture. A little broken, moving slow. This is where the walls come down to whisper. You catch the pieces before they hit the floor. You see the cracked porcelain, you see the velvet lining. Baby, this is 74 degrees, and I don't need to be polished anymore. Every other mirror requires me to stand up straight, to minimize the shadow, to manipulate my fate. But you trade in vulnerability, you specialize in grace. You make room for the messy parts I thought had no place. It's not tolerance, it's affirmation deep within your eyes. The safest shelter I have ever found beneath these skies. Just leave the lights down low, let the imperfections glow. 74 degrees, slow tempo, I'm finally home. You catch the pieces, yeah. 74 degrees, I don't need to be polished anymore. Fade out. I spend my whole day adjusting the focus, hiding the thread-borne seams beneath the surface. I paint over the silence, edit the pause, trying to fit the definition, ignoring the laws. That gravity is real, and sometimes the effort to keep the pedestal polished just leaves me inert. I walk in shadows, hoping no one notices the strain. The way my smile is wired, too tight to feel the rain. But the minute that the key turns in the lock, I hear the outside clock stop ticking off my stock of energy reserved for performing the role. I start shedding layers meant to save my soul. I don't have to check the lighting or the angle, no expectation here, no need to untangle the messy blueprint I've been living in all week. Oh, this is where the template finally gets to breathe, where the worn-out melody is all I have to weave. You don't just tolerate the cracks, you call them character. The unfinished sketch of me, my own specific parameter. You see the static in my perfect soundtrack, and you love the dissonance, the notes I can't retract. The safe space is where perfection goes to lie. The unedited hour beneath your accepting eye. I came to you once bearing fresh deep scar tissue, worried that the history would be the only issue. You didn't ask for footnotes or a clean explanation, just poured us tea and offered quiet conversation. You let me fold into the corner of the sofa, where the sunlight always shows the dust, a visual quota of all the things the glossy surface tries to ignore. And somehow I feel cleaner than I ever felt before. When I was trying to convince the world I was brand new, you recognized the fading gold and pulled me through. And the minute that the key turns in the lock, I hear the outside clock stop ticking off my stock of energy reserved for performing the role. I start shedding layers meant to save my soul. I don't have to check the lighting or the angle, no expectation here, no need to untangle the messy blueprint I've been living in all week. This is where the chip paint finally gets to breathe, where the worn-out melody is all I have to weave. You don't just tolerate the cracks, you call them character. The unfinished sketch of me, my own specific parameter. You see the static in my perfect soundtrack, and you love the dissonance, the notes I can't retract. The safe space is where perfection goes to lie. The unedited hour beneath your accepting eye. I used to think that acceptance meant settling for less. Oh, but you taught me freedom is the ultimate success. When the mirror outside is cruel and holds me up to scorn, your gaze is a soft canvas where the real me is born. Yeah, I don't need the high-pass filter, I don't need the sheen, just the warmth of knowing I am perfectly unseen by the judgment of the crowd, the pressure to impress. Here, I'm just what I am, nothing more, nothing less. This is where the chips paint finally gets to breathe, where the worn-out melody is all I have to weave. You don't just tolerate the cracks, you call them character. The unfinished sketch of me, my own specific parameter. You see the static in my perfect soundtrack, and you love the dissonance, the notes I can't retract. The safe space is where perfection goes to lie, and edited out beneath your accepting eye. Oh, beneath your eye. No need for the edit, baby, just the low home, the honest light, and I finally feel right. Yeah, yeah, where I get to breathe. No perfection needed, no, just the rhythm of the beat, 100 BPM. Build my world on high gloss, baby. 4 coats deep, tiled the cracks and swept the shadows while the rest were asleep. Wore a perfect porcelain facade, always in character. Kept my failures locked behind a door marked no admittance here. I spent so long convincing the mirror I was finished, polished, bright. But hiding your true self gets heavy underneath the spotlight. But the day you came, you brought a different kind of gaze. You didn't squint at the mistakes, you just appreciated the maze. You leaned in close when I was silent, catching every restless sigh. And for the first time, I felt the urge to let the perfect version die. This is the unedited room, yeah, where the filter stays off. You let the static noise of volume. You don't ask me to gloss. You don't try to smooth the patina or make my edges straight. You said your history's a masterpiece of beautiful mistakes. And when I crumble, you just roll the dust. You are the safe space built entirely on trust. Used to rush through every hurried moment, afraid to stall. Thinking if I move fast enough, you wouldn't see the impending fall. I talk too much when I am nervous, leave sentences unsaid. My thought process is sometimes tangled, a knot inside my head. The world demands choreography, steps I often miss. But when I stumble in your presence, you just meet it with a kiss. You look right through the thin defenses I've learned to put on show. And you love the things about me that I thought I had to overthrow. I put my wearied baggage down, the one I've carried for years. It felt like shedding armor, finally quiet in the fears. You saw the freight and saw the tear stains from the nights alone. And that moment in your gentle hands felt like coming home. This is the unedited room, yeah, where the filter stays off. You let the static noise of volume. You don't ask me to gloss. You don't try to smooth the patina or make my edges straight. You said your history's a masterpiece of beautiful mistakes. And when I crumble, you just hold the dust. You are the safe space built entirely on trust. I don't have to chase the sunset just to look golden and divine. My glitches aren't reasons to retreat, they're just signature design. I thought vulnerability was weakness, a hole in the foundation, but you showed me the strength in full, raw revelation. You are the architect who praised the ruin, the beauty, and the die. And now my soul can finally let the heavy, held in secret This is the unedited room, yeah, where the filter stays off. You let the static noise of volume. You don't ask me to gloss. You don't try to smooth the patina or make my edges straight. You said your history's a masterpiece of beautiful mistakes. And when I crumble, you just hold the dust. You are the safe space built entirely on trust. Yeah, just hold the dust. Safe space built entirely on trust. I can breathe here, I can settle down. No crown needed, no performance now. The unedited room, that's where I belong. With you. from the audition. Trying to be glossy, trying to fit the frame. I peeled the practice smile off my face like a cheap sticker and whispered your name like an apology for the strain. They don't tell you the cost of keeping that exterior flawless. The energy it drains just holding the facade. I took off my jacket but the armor felt stuck beneath it. Embraced full of critique, waiting for the nod of necessary adjustments. But you didn't reach for a measurement, didn't grab a ruler. You didn't ask me to defend the scars across my sleeve. You only dimmed the lights a little lower, as if to say we don't need to see every single flaw to believe. And you call my vulnerability texture. You say my mistakes are just a necessary key. This is the only room where I can truly breathe unsecure, where the rough draft is better than the final decree. You give me soft focus, baby, the gentle blur that settles on the edges of my doubt. Oh, my sanctuary is the silence when I finally let the truth out. You call my weakness texture. Yeah, I pull the heavy files of my historic errors. Stupid things I said, trust I let decay. The bad habits that still circle like persistent predators. The shadow that gets longer at the close of every day. I told you about the temper I keep locked up behind glass. The fear that I'm built on shifting sand that won't hold fast. I was ready for the counsel, the prescriptive lecture, but you just polished the dust off the stories of my past. Said that's how we learn to stand up tall. And we didn't reach for a flashlight, didn't try to dissect. You just moved closer, letting the silence fill the space. You offered me acceptance without prerequisite respect. Wipe the manufactured glitter right off my face. And you call my vulnerability texture. You say my mistakes are just a necessary key. This is the only room where I can truly breathe unsecure, where the rough draft is better than the final decree. You give me soft focus, baby, the gentle blur that settles on the edges of my doubt. My sanctuary is the silence when I finally let the truth out. You call my weakness texture. Oh, diamond, they test the clarity and measure every carat weight. Yeah. But you took the quartz, the one that still looks dirty from the mining. You said I prefer the natural state. I didn't know this kind of quiet grace was possible. To be safe without having to be strong, always capable. To be loved not despite the flaws, but somehow woven in. That's the kind of revolution you let me begin. And you call my vulnerability texture. You say my mistakes are just a necessary key. This is the only room where I can truly breathe unsecure, where the rough draft is better than the final decree. You give me soft focus, babe, the gentle blur that settles on texture, soft focus, yeah. Just as light, just us two, no filter. My weakness, texture. I'm just breathing here. Oh, I'm safe right here, right? My unedited frame, texture, baby. The static hums just outside the door, where they keep a score, tracing every flaw. I walk the line, pressed and tailored tight, trying hard to catch that flawless, perfect light. But I've got places in my soul where the pain is thin, areas of quiet damage where the doubt creeps in. I spend the daylight polishing the exterior view, hoping nobody sees the dust collected in the truth. But the moment I hear that key turning the lock, I stop winding the internal clock. The mag starts to melt, the tension starts to break, and I know the full risk I'm about to take. This is the sanctuary where the armor falls. You catch the echo of my truth behind the wall. You treat my frayed edges like they're fine lace. You found the beauty in the empty space, in the softest light where my mistakes are shades of gray. You never ask me to filter a thing I say. No judgment waiting, no repair required, just the woman I am, seen and desire. I showed you the ledger of the times I tripped and fell, the broken promises I swore I'd never tell. You didn't wince or try to turn the page. You call the cracks in my design vintage proof of age. You see the history etched behind my eyes, not wounds to hide, but the map of where I rise. You're the only one who got the access code to this, the unwanted version sealed with a careful kiss. 'Cause I am raw canvas in the world's harsh glare, but you are the curator who handles me with care. You don't just tolerate the parts I wish were gone. You see the melody where I only hear the wrong. This is the sanctuary where the armor falls. You catch the echo of my truth behind the wall. You treat my frayed edges like they're fine lace. You found the beauty in the empty space, in the softest light where my mistakes are shades of gray. You never ask me to filter a thing I say. No judgment waiting, no repair required, just the woman I am, seen and desire. If trust was currency, you'd be a billionaire, for handling this fragile spirit with such rare care. You didn't just accept the dark, you lit a candle there. You made this imperfection look like high art, like the master plan woven right from the start. This isn't compromise, this is the foundation stone, the only place in the world I feel truly, truly known. This is the sanctuary where your armor falls. It's the echo of my truth behind the wall. You treat my frayed edges like they're fine lace. yeah. I spend the whole day pressing creases out of the light, smoothing down the edges just to fit the frame right. It's a 7-step routine before the mirror lets me go. Tired of the effort just to keep the flawless show. They say perfection is achievable, but they don't see the kind of tire that heavy silence brings on me. The constant need to polish every word before it flies, hiding all the questions reflected in my eyes. But when I finally pull up to your door and the streetlights dim, feel the tension melt away, starting from the brim. I don't have to check the lighting, I don't need the filter strong. I know that I already belong. You see the fractured lines and call them constellations. You never asked me to explain my slow hesitations. This is the archive, the safe space, the low light, where my frayed edges finally feel alright. I am the grain of the film when I'm with you, baby, and you love the texture, the real me, the maybe. No need to be fixed, no need to be edited down. You keep the one place where I can let the mask fall down. I came to you with holes in the fabric I wore thin, showed you the receipts for all the battles I didn't win. There's a vulnerability in mismatched socks and sleepy eyes, the truths I usually cover up with polished, easy lies. I confess the doubts that stick like sand inside my throat, the self-correction notes I scribbled on my mental code. But you don't recall from the messy, heavy things I bring. You just let the truth hang there and watch it softly swing. And the moment your hand finds mine in the dark of this room, I know I found the shelter that dispels the lonely gloom. I can hear the quiet whisper telling me I'm understood. You see the flawed blueprint and say, this is good. You see the fractured lines and call them constellations. You never asked me to explain my slow hesitations. This is the archive, the safe space, the low light, where my frayed edges finally feel alright. I am the grain of the film when I'm with you, baby, and you love the texture, the real me, the maybe. No need to be fixed, no need to be edited down. You keep the one place where I can let the mask fall down. Hey, I used to be my own harshest critic. I held the magnifying glass, searching for the weakness that wouldn't ever pass. But you broke the lens, darling, you shifted the focus. You showed me that authenticity is what the whole world covets. And now I find acceptance not just in your embrace, but in the freedom that you grant me in this sacred space. The quiet understanding that I don't have to climb or prove, just exist right here, moving in this effortless groove. Keep the low light on, just the grain of the film on the wall. Don't worry about the dust on the window, no. Just let me stay here, let me stay here. Safe space, safe space, yeah. You love the texture of the real me. I leave the armor by the door, the heavy clasp undone. Spend all my currency on maintaining the shield for everyone. Outside these walls, the verdict's swift, the mirror never lies. So I smooth the wrinkles from my clothes and the tiredness from my eyes. It's a long, exhausting performance, trying to keep the surface calm, but the foundation I built so low was never meant to weather the storm. And when I finally turn the light and the streetlights fade to gray, I swear I feel the match detach itself and fall away. I don't have the energy to edit this version for your sake. I'm letting down the hair, letting down the walls that used to shake. So watch me shed the perfect skin I wore beneath the sun. Tell me honestly, darling, if you still want the one. This is the only zero gravity space I know, where my rough draft soul is safe and slow. You don't just look at the chip pane, you see the structure underneath. You trace the history of my heart, giving my failures easy breath. You love the parts of me the world insists I should erase. You're the sanctuary where the light hits the scars and finds a beautiful place. Oh, this safe space, this safe space. I came to you with tattered edges, threads hanging loose from my sleeve, holding a ledger of mistakes that I assumed you wouldn't believe. But you didn't demand explanations for the bruises that never fade. You just offered silence and a knowing glance, a soft, unspoken parade of acceptance for the ghost stories I carry when I sleep. You see the anxiety I bury and the secrets I meant to keep, and yet you settle right beside the fault line, never trying to fill the crack. You simply show me that everything I fear exposing is already home right now. I don't have the energy to edit this version for your sake. I'm letting down the hair, letting down the walls that used to shake. So watch me shed the perfect skin I wore beneath the sun. Tell me honestly, darling, if you still want the one. This is the only zero gravity space I know, where my rough draft soul is safe and slow. You don't just look at the chip pane, you see the structure underneath. You trace the history of my heart, giving my failures easy breath. You love the parts of me the world insists I should erase. You're the sanctuary where the light hits the stars and finds a beautiful place. Oh, this safe space, this safe space. I used to chase clean slate mornings, trying to polish out the past, but you taught me that the truth is richer when it's built to truly last. You showed me that the crooked line, the curve that didn't quite make sense, is the signature of resilience, the truest raw defense. I don't need fixing here, I don't need to be redesigned. I finally found the safety net that I was always meant to find. Wait, walk the pavement in heavy boots, trying to make the rhythm sound wrong. I've been practicing my poker face, polishing the things that shouldn't be seen. The world outside is fluorescent light, demanding only high gloss perfection, making sure every seam is hidden tight, avoiding any moment of reflection. Oh, I'm out and low on that manufactured shine, the energy it takes to be seen. I've held my breath across the finish line, praying that my truth stays voiceless. But the second that I turn the key and I step across your threshold line, all the calculated geometry of my constructed self starts to decline. I don't have to check the mirror twice or censor the silence in my head. You offer sanctuary without a price, and look, the heavy cloak is shed. This is where the filter drops down low, and the signal static is accepted. You see the messy parts that start to show, the pieces that I always neglected. You love the unedited, unpainted draft, the blueprint scattered on the floor. You don't ask me to compartmentalize my past, you just ask me to be nothing more than the broken vow. So you know, standing in your self-forgiving light, this is my soundproof room, my undertow, where imperfect is finally right. I told you about the deep set lines, the ones I earned from fighting hard battles. The minor chords and the broken signs, the rattling of my internal shackles. Most people fix the spotlight on the stain, saying you need to minimize that shadow, but you just whisper softly through the pain, darling, the whole landscape needs room to grow. You let me tell the stories with a face, you let me stammer and mispronounce the fear. You don't hold me to the finished tracks, you just hold the space until it's clear. And every single time I think I'll cave under the pressure to perform, you remind me of the things I couldn't save, and you keep me safe and quiet from the storm. I don't have to check the mirror twice or censor the silence in my head. You offered sanctuary without a price, and look, the heavy cloak is shed. This is where the filter drops down low, and the signal static is accepted. You see the messy parts that start to show, the pieces that I always neglected. You love the unedited, unpainted draft, the blueprint scattered on the floor. You don't ask me to compartmentalize my past, you just ask me to be nothing more than the broken vow. So you know, standing in your self-forgiving light, this is my soundproof room, my undertow, where imperfect is finally right. Every prove I will. But you built a shelter out of understanding, a place to land that requires no demanding. You didn't fix the edges, you just smoothed the glare. You looked at my history and said, I still care. This is where the filter drops down low, and the signal static is accepted. You see the messy parts that start to show, the pieces that I always neglected. You love the unedited, unpainted draft, the blueprint scattered on the floor. You don't ask me to compartmentalize my past, you just ask me to be nothing more than a broken vow. So you know, standing in your self-forgiving light, this is my soundproof room, my undertow, where imperfect is finally right. Oh, finally right. You just let me be my unpainted canvas. Yeah, finally right. City street is slick with expectation. Another polished surface I had to walk upon. Wore the heavy velvet of reputation, trying to hold the perfect posture until the dawn. I spent 8 hours fielding every sharp glance, polishing the narrative, leaving nothing to chance. My shoulders ache beneath the weight of that display, wishing for the moment I could finally step away. And then I reached the threshold, that invisible divide, where the breath I've been holding can finally subside. I leave the armor hanging by the entrance, cold and steel, because you don't require the performance, you only ask for what is real. You are the soft landing for my unsteady soul, the only place where I feel utterly whole. I bring you every scratch mark, every dent in the frame, and you don't try to fix it, you just whisper my name. You see the ragged edges I desperately try to hide, and offer acceptance with nothing left implied. This is my sanctuary, built on the steady view that I am enough exactly as I am with you. Remember that mistake I keep reviewing in my head, the bad decision that still echoes everything I've said. I confess the failure, bracing for the recoil, ready for the judgment, rooted in the hard soil. But you just took my hand, not as judge but as guide, and looked into the panic with nothing left to chide. You said, baby, that history is just context, not constraint. It's the faded background color to the beautiful you paint. I don't have to filter the sigh when I exhale, I don't have to fake the strength when I feel frail. When the lights are low and the door is locked tight, I can finally share Your perception is a masterpiece of light and grace. You found the beauty in the breakage of this fragile place. It's a radical kindness, this truth you extend, a non-negotiable comfort that will never end. Oh, you are the soft landing for my unsteady soul, the only place where I feel utterly whole. I bring you every scratch mark, every dent in the frame, and you don't try to fix it. You just whisper my name. You just whisper my name. I have the acceptance with nothing left implied. This is my sanctuary, built on the steady view that I am enough exactly as I am with you. Yeah, with you. Just the truth, just the truth. No fixing needed here. My safe space, my anchor line. I spent the whole day walking in the high beam light, polishing the surface until everything felt right, tucking away the shadows, hiding the frayed seams, living out the perfect blueprint of somebody else's dreams. The smile was steady, the posture held its stance, but holding back the breakage is an exhausting dance. Oh, the way to being flawlessly put together. I was praying for a shift in the heavy weather, but the moment that I cross your threshold, baby, something loosens, something settles down slow. I don't need a filter for the chaos running wild in my head. You've already learned the language of the things I haven't said. This is where the static dies and the frequency is clean. The only place I show you what the broken parts mean. You don't ask me to be the picture or the finished stone. You love the cracks in the pavement where the moss has grown. You are the zero gravity room, my safe surrender, the place where imperfection is the sweetest texture. Yeah, you see the truth beneath the heavy disguise, and that's why this is where I leave my perfected lives. I can leave my past mistakes scattered out on the floor, and I don't have to apologize for knocking on your door with a heavy heart or tired eyes that haven't slept. You don't judge the secrets that I meticulously kept. The world outside says fix it, make it straight, but you just hold my hand and whisper, darling, it can wait. You don't push for closure, you don't demand the cure. You just offer shelter, steady, soft and sure. And suddenly the iron surface starts to crumble. I realize the need to hide was just a foolish stumble. I don't need a strong voice or rehearsed defense. Your understanding makes a perfect kind of sense. This is where the static dies and the frequency is clean. The only place I show you what the broken parts mean. You don't ask me to be the picture or the finished stone. You love the cracks in the pavement where the moss has grown. You are the zero gravity room, my safe surrender, the place where imperfection is the sweetest texture. Yeah, you see the truth beneath the heavy disguise, and that's why this is where I leave my perfected life. I used to think acceptance was a contract with conditions, but you built a sanctuary without any partitions. You showed me that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's just grace. And I finally feel I belong right here in this space. No need for performances, no need for the stage. Just turn it over a new, unwritten page. Just let me breathe here, slow and deep, while the rest of the world is still asleep. I'm safe right here with you, loving the parts of me that only you see through. Imperfections, baby, oh, they never look so beautiful to me. Cracks in the pavement and the moss is green. Came to you wearing my armor of denial, a practice smile lasting just a little while, tiptoeing through the conversation, careful not to slip, to hide the way my inner trembling makes my lips catch on the silence, afraid you notice the seams of all my unfinished architectural dreams. I lived under a high pass filter, bright and clean, desperate to match the person I had been. But the moment you pulled me close, I let the tension drop, like a tight knot unraveling right before the stop. You didn't try to fix the damage, didn't change the light, you just settled in and made the shadows feel alright. This is my sanctuary of rough edges, no need for the plaster, no tight wire pledges. You love the sound of my cracked harmony, yeah, you are the soft focus surrounding me. I can finally breathe the air I held inside. This is where my messy truth can finally hide and be welcome, be seen, be completely understood. The safest space is built right where I stood. I showed you the history written on my palms, the list of failures, the unnecessary harms, the way I sometimes sabotage a blessing that I own, 'cause being happy feels too much like being alone. You learn the language of my frantic hesitation, the way I rush to self-deprecation. I spent years editing my heart into a draft, but you took the pen away and sent me left and said, baby, I want the texture of the real thing, not a Photoshop version of what you think love should bring. Now when the anxiety hits, I lean right into you, because I know that feeling broken doesn't mean we're through. You wrap your warmth around the cold spots in my soul and watch the pieces gather back to make me whole. This is my sanctuary of rough edges, no need for the plaster, no tight wire pledges. You love the sound of my cracked harmony, yeah, you are the soft focus surrounding me. I can finally breathe the air I held inside. This is where my messy truth can finally hide and be welcome, be seen, be completely understood. The safest space is built right where I stood. I stopped waiting for the correction, stop seeking out your harsh reflection. You didn't try to smooth the wrinkle from the linen, you just loved the story I was living in. And that kind of love, it runs deeper than the surface shine. It proves the worth of what I thought was only mine. The things I tried to bury, the things I tried to erase, they finally found their dignity, found their rightful place. Just the soft focus surrounding me. this harmony. You see the beauty in my cracked porcelain. I'm finally home, I'm finally home within your grace. Fade out.
I spend all morning smoothing down the edges of a life I promise is perfectly aligned. Got the polished veneer, the careful cadence to show the world a success I define. But that performance runs me ragged, baby. Every careful smile attacks on my soul. I keep the dimmer switch on low because I don't want anyone to see the toll. But I cross that threshold, feel the tension release. I don't need the choreography here. I drop the armor on the rug, it clangs heavy. And you are the only eye that doesn't fear the mess I am behind the closed curtain, the blueprint that was shattered and restored. You are the stillness where the cracks in the foundation are love. You see the rough draft, the messy ink on the page, and you approve. I can shed the satin, let the light find the broken pieces. You never asked me to be fixed or retrieved. This is my safe harbor where my imperfections are finally believed to be beautiful. Oh, I let you peel back the layers of dust and time, the anxious whispers I try to silence in my head. I'm an antique that's been handled roughly, with history carved into every thread. I stop calculating every word before I say it. I let the awkward silence breathe and swell. You don't try to solve the puzzle, darling. You just observe the way it fell. And it's a profound kind of mercy, this acceptance that doesn't chase the shadow or the stain. I'm standing barefoot on the truth you've offered, washing off the years of hiding from the rain. You see the tremor, the unsteady rhythm, and you just pull me closer to the shore. You are the stillness where the cracks in the foundation are love. You see the rough draft, the messy ink on the page, and you approve. I can shed the satin, let the light find the broken pieces. You never asked me to be fixed or retrieved. This is my safe harbor where my imperfections are finally believed to be beautiful. I spent so long trying to smooth out the grain, thinking acceptance was conditional, tied to my gain. But you showed me the truest masterpiece is vulnerability. Not the flawless stone, but the structure that decided to be free. Yeah, the weight of keeping up the perfect image, it's lifted now. I can exhale, I can finally bow to the truth of who I am when nobody's watching. Resting in the realness of me. No conditions, no need to be perfect. Just the stillness, just the air we breathe. Oh, my safe harbor. You see me, truly see me, yeah. You let me stay broken and whole, baby, yeah. Where the cracks of love fade out. I used to iron the creases out of every truth I spoke. Kept my light dim low so no one saw the smoke. I treated my reflection like a strict, silent judge, afraid of the spaces where the polish starts to budge. I perfected the delivery of my calculated smile. Spent hours choosing clothes that disguise my fragile style. Walking through the world carrying my own fragile case, hoping that my shadow wouldn't fall out of place. But when I step into your atmosphere, the armor starts to yield. Every defense mechanism I built suddenly repealed. The air pressure shifts and I can finally breathe it deep. All the secrets I was burdened with, you're the one who lets me keep. You see the blueprint where the walls came down. You don't try to fix the chip in my crown. This is the zero gravity room, baby, babe, where the weight of should be floats away. Every jagged edge I try to hide, you greet it with the sunlight unfiltered wide. There's no hiding in this frequency, just silent visibility. And I've never felt this beautiful to me. I showed you the map of where I've fallen short, the battles that I lost, historical death that came at such a high cost. I expected critique, maybe a gentle no inside. Instead you just traced the fault line sitting in my eye. You called my nervous habits rhythm, my hesitation grace. Said the broken parts are simply texture giving soul to the space. You don't ask for perfection, you just ask for the real. And that's a sweeter kind of comfort than I ever thought I'd feel. Oh, when I step into your atmosphere, the heavy lifting stops. The fear of being measured, it just vanishes and drops. The light hits different here, it softens all the edges. And suddenly my flaws aren't fences, they're just ledges. See the blueprint where the walls came down. You don't try to fix the chip in my crown. This is the zero gravity room.
unlovable, it's acceptance unto death. And I didn't know how much I missed that honest life until I saw myself reflected purely in your sight. Just let me stay.
City sleeps. We share the way the daylight always keeps. The door is locked, the ring is set to low. The only sound is the rhythm of the soul. I watch you moving, silhouetted soft and slow, letting all the sharp edges finally go. The world outside is muted and submerged, but right here, baby, all our desires emerged. And we're sipping on the quiet like expensive wine, knowing every second here is solely mine. There's fire in the shadows, I feel it heating up, but we approach the edge of this communion cup with a reverence, never reckless, always right. This is what happens when we surrender to the night. This is the midnight texture, a velvet kind of loving, deep as the ocean, steady as the wave keeps moving. We trade the rush of passion for the perfect slow burn. Every touch is gentle, every lesson learned. It's the beautiful collision of the strength and soft control, finding the most sacred part of your soul. We don't rush the night away, no, baby. We just fall into the deep. R&B. I'm tracing lines across your shoulder blade, a quiet map of promises we made. No need for volume, no shouting to the stars, just the perfect silence healing up the scars. I lean in close to hear the way you breathe, the simplest song my heart will ever weave. Your skin is amber in the low lamplight, a masterpiece unfolding late at night. And I memorize the language in your eyes, the gentle secret that the morning will disguise. There's fire in the shadows, I feel it heating up, but we approach the edge of this communion cup with reverence, never reckless, always right. This is what happens when we surrender to the night. This is the midnight texture, a velvet kind of loving, deep as the ocean, steady as the wave keeps moving. We trade the rush of passion for the perfect slow burn. Every touch is gentle, every lesson learned. It's the beautiful collision of the strength and soft control, finding more
sacred part of your soul. We don't rush the night away, no babe. We just fall into the deep. R&B. Oh, they talk about fireworks, darling, the sudden sharp display, but they haven't known the beauty of the tide that pulls away. We built a sanctuary in this deep dark shade, where every fragile truth can finally be laid. This ain't just chemistry, this is history we're writing down. When the world stops spinning just for us to wear the crown. This is the midnight texture, a velvet kind of loving, deep as the ocean, steady as the wave keeps moving. We trade the rush of passion for the perfect slow burn. Every touch is gentle, every lesson learned. It's the beautiful collision of the strength and soft control, finding the most sacred part of your soul. We don't rush the night away, no baby. We just fall into the deep. Just the texture, velvet and gentle. Midnight knows our secret. Fade out. The city lights are just a hum beneath the pain. Traded the static for the sweet sound of your name. It's 1:17 and the day is officially dead. All the anxious chatter finally left my head. We're operating on a frequency reserved for the dark, where the smallest movement leaves its indelible mark. No need for loud confessions or performance for the screen. This quiet intensity is the richest thing I've seen. This darkness wraps around us like a velvet robe. Every secret we kept is finally letting go. And when you lean in close, I can feel the slow burn. This is the one lesson I never want to unlearn. It's the gravity of two, moving at 80 BPM in this midnight architecture built entirely from my dream. No rush for sunrise, we're suspended in the deep, where the promises you whisper are the ones you always keep. Gentle hands, pageant secrets in the shadow play, making yesterday's mistakes just fade away. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm tracing constellations that only I can see. The landscape of your shoulder, pure geography. You make the urgent quiet, you make the loud soft. Every careful breath is something I've prayed for aloft. This isn't fire, baby, this is melted gold. A precious story that takes patience, slowly being told. The way you hold my gaze confirms everything I know, that soulful connections only happen
when we take it slow. This silence is luxurious, draped in deep sapphire, pulling us closer, higher and higher. And when you lean in close, I feel that sacred hum, knowing the moment we're in is where forever comes from. It's the gravity of two, moving at 80 BPM in this midnight architecture, built entirely from a dream. No rush for sunrise, we're suspended in the deep, where the promises you whisper are the ones you always keep. Gentle hands finding secrets in the shadow play, making yesterday's mistakes just fade away. The clock on the wall means nothing to the rhythm in my chest. It's a complete surrender, putting the world to the test. Don't change the light, don't break the hush. Let the stillness be the moment, let the quiet be the rush. You give me permission to be perfectly undone. This passion is tender, it feels like we've already won. 80 BPM, that's the speed we know. Just the gravity of two, so slow. Oh, this velvet hour, we just stay right here in the midnight architecture. Gravity too. Hey, 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 hey. The city finally exhaled its neon light. Clock hands cross the meridian line of night. Street lights bled orange onto the dusty blinds, leaving the rush and the worries far behind. We didn't need the telephone or the radio hum, just the sound of the silence where our worlds become one. Every frequency outside is cut and sealed, the perfect atmosphere for how I wanna feel. We left the talking on the windowsill, the air got thick, standing deliberately still, like pressing pause on every deadline and doubt. Now it's just a slow release of everything spilling out. There's a voltage hidden beneath the quiet, ready for us to finally ignite. This is velvet static, a silent kind of high. We don't need the frantic rush that others glorify. It's a midnight hush, gentle and deep. Every secret that my body wants to keep, slow combustion, never rush, just moving on the hush, 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 underneath the surface, where the passion is plush. Your hands are drawing slow motion maps on my skin,
tracing the constellations of where we begin. We bypassed all the loud, predictable fire for this quiet, rhythmic devotion we require. It's not aggressive, baby, it's draped soft and low, like cashmere pulled down where the shadows grow. We're speaking a language that only the two of us know, in hushed tones and where the moments go slow. We've traded all the light for this indigo hue. There's a beautiful weight in everything we do. I'm sinking deeper into this slow motion slide. There is nowhere left in this moment to hide. The voltage is building, perfectly contained. Exactly the feeling I knew you had raised.
It's a negative static, a silent kind of high. You don't need the frantic rush that others glorify. It's a midnight hush, gentle and deep. Every secret that my body wants to keep, slow combustion. Never rush, just moving on the hush, 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 underneath the surface, where the passion is blush. Don't check the time, let the morning wait on the stair. We built this sanctuary right here in the air, where the shadows stretch and blur and nothing can stir. I know this feeling is the one I prefer. It's the permanent mark, the softest kind of intensity, holding all of this precious fragility. It's velvet static, a silent kind of high. We don't need the frantic rush that others glorify. It's a midnight hush, gentle and deep. Every secret that my body wants to keep, slow combustion. Never rush, just moving on the hush, 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 underneath the surface, where the passion is blood. Yeah, the velvet static on the hush beat, slow combustion. Just us and midnight. Oh, that velvet heat.
Just a distant hum on the 18th floor, where the shadows come to drape themselves in indigo. We let the urgent world let go. The air is thick with sandalwood and grace, a careful quiet holding time and place. I watch the street light filter through the blind and leave the frantic world behind. There are no clocks inside the space, just the rhythm of your slow embrace. Every single light must dim to make room for the mood we're living in. This is the velvet static, a silent, soulful kind of heat, passionate but never frantic, where the gentle touch is sweet defeat. control. Just midnight whispers on the pillowcase, caught in the softness of this sacred space. I trace the shoreline of your collarbone, a language only we have ever known. We don't need volumes or a sound to feel the axis spinning round. You move against the dark like liquid silk and pour a patience that I haven't built. A fever in the hush, a careful burn. Every single lesson I can learn. There are no timelines here tonight. We're moving only by the low moon's light. And though the world outside is loud, we're wrapped inside a midnight cloud. This is the velvet static, a silent, soulful kind of heat, passionate but never frantic, where the gentle touch is sweet defeat. You lay your tenderness upon my soul and take a slow, meticulous control. Just midnight whispers on the pillowcase, caught in the softness of this sacred space. Most people rush the feeling, they mistake the fire for the flame. But you are calm, you are revealing, and you know exactly how to tame the rushing tide inside my chest, putting all my urgency to rest. This isn't just touch, this is reverence, a beautiful shared consequence. Velvet static, oh, the way you move, just enough pressure to prove that passion can be measured low. A smooth, deep current, slow, slow, slow. Midnight velvet, static, static, static. Stay right here till the morning.
Outside is just a low frequency hum now. We turned off the screens and let the blue light die. All the edges of the day have softened and dissolved somehow. Just the scent of sandalwood and the sound of your sigh. I watch the way the shadows pool beneath your collarbone. You're leaning back into the silence we have carved out. This is the only place I've ever truly called my home, where every single doubt has finally been shut the truth without a single word or finger, waiting for the perfect moment when the moment comes. This is midnight below, it's the gentle fire, slow burn pour, a passion that doesn't demand, it just anchors and absorbs. This is midnight below, we're sinking deep into the floor, a soulful smooth surrender we've been waiting for, a love that's rich and dark and nothing less, nothing more. I memorized the geography beneath your fingertips, tracing constellations only meant for my two eyes. We speak in the delicate language of brushstrokes and soft lips, the kind of vulnerability that only late night guarantees. You let me see the history you usually shield from view, the tiny cracks I know you think nobody else could trace. And I promise you, baby, every single scar looks new under the quiet golden light of this secure space. We're in no rush to claim the night, we're gonna linger, savoring the deep breath before the quiet hum. I communicate the truth without a single word or finger, waiting for the perfect moment when the moment comes. This is midnight below, it's the gentle fire, slow burn pour, a passion that doesn't demand, it just anchors and absorbs. This is midnight below, we're sinking deep into the floor, a soulful smooth surrender we've been waiting for, a love that's rich and dark and nothing less, nothing more. We don't need the frantic beat to know that we are alive, just this steady necessary calibration. Every single breath we share is how we both survive, a hypnotic pulse built purely on devotion. This isn't temporary heat, this is essential, the slow deliberate rhythm of two hearts finally aligned. Don't move, baby, just hold the frame,
Streetlights bleeding golden through the blinds. The heavy traffic of the day unwinds, and all the frantic chatter of the world outside just melts away the moment you decide to drop your guard and let the tension fade. A sacred promise that the night has made. Your silence is the only soundtrack now. The gentle shift of focus, and somehow the air gets thick with unspoken things. We don't need a rhythm marked in time. The tempo set by just your hand in mine. A slow confession in the low blue glow. Watching where the shadows choose to go. This soft collision, escaping all context. No history or future, only next. This is the slow surrender, the weightless fall. When midnight comes to answer every call, we trade the fever for the slow deep calm. Lost in the architecture of what we become. It's the velvet hour, the gentle fire, the only passion that won't require a single spoken hurry, demanding word. Just the resonance of two souls heard. I map the shadow lines along your jaw, a quiet reverence for the things I saw when panic tried to pull you from your peace. And this is where the wrestling finds release. Your breath against my collarbone is low, a frequency only the midnight knows. Your whisper isn't texture, not a sound. It's the kind of stillness that can't be found. Before the second hand stands still and waits behind these locked and intimate gates. We don't need a map to find the line between the sacred and the truly divine. A smooth momentum, nothing left to chase, just lingering in this appointed space. This slow collision, escaping all context. No history or future, only next. This is the slow surrender, the weightless fall. When midnight comes to answer every call, we trade the fever for the slow deep calm. Lost in the architecture of what we become. It's the velvet hour, the gentle fire, the only passion that won't require a single spoken hurry, demanding word. Just the resonance of two souls heard. They say that passion is a sudden heat, but ours is cut from fabric soft and deep. Not the rush, but the residue. It's the understanding, crystal clear and new. You are the comfort, you are the rest, a sanctuary proven and truly blessed, where the intimacy is fearless and vast. The first slow motion feeling that's built to last. The slow just the resonance.
gets to sigh. We share the static of the street clothes underneath this muted sapphire sky. You turn the volume down on the whole world. Just the halo of the bedside lamp remains. It's a slow surrender to the atmosphere, washing clean the residue of daily pains. This is midnight texture, gentle on the edges, like the sound when velvet drops onto the floor. It's a low frequency hum, no harsh landings. We don't rush the rhythm, we just feel it more. It's the passion you reserve for quiet moments, the way you hold the fire, careful of the flame. Slow motion intimacy, where the silence listens, calling out my name without speaking my name. I'm tracing the river lines along your shoulder blade, a map I thought I knew, but find new corners every night. We communicate in breath and subtle shifts of weight, a silent, soulful dialect of low light. You teach my hands the meaning of deliberate speed. That intense connection doesn't need to shake the room. We treat the minutes like they're fragile, like they might break, lost in the luxurious dark of this perfume. This is midnight texture, gentle on the edges, like the sound when velvet drops onto the floor. It's a low frequency hum, no harsh landings. We don't rush the rhythm, we just feel it more. It's the passion you reserve for quiet moments, the way you hold the fire, careful of the flame. Slow motion intimacy, where the silence listens, calling out my name without speaking my name. We don't need the sun to validate this feeling. We don't need the speed of morning to define, just the soft, unhurried truth you are revealing. Every fiber of your spirit laced with mine. Let the whole world spin, we'll keep our orbits centered in this gravity of quiet, deep devotion. This silence is the purest sound I've ever entered, a soulful, smooth 80 BPM emotion. This is midnight texture, gentle on the edges, like the sound when velvet drops onto the floor.
as velvet, slow fade to midnight. Oh, the texture and the silence knows. Yeah, the silence knows. Midnight texture.
City sounds are muffled, 10 stories down. We close the door on static and the noise of the town. It's past the 11th hour, the neon sign is dimmed, leaving only the echo of the promise we skimmed off the surface of the silence. This low fidelity scene, where the space between us is heavy and clean. I can finally breathe out the burden of the day, knowing this indigo air will keep the truth at bay. Oh, there's no need to rush the texture. We've earned this slow burn, just the deliberate pace of every lesson we learn. The way your shadow stretches long against the wall, anticipating the moment when the armor has to fall. This is a weightless kind of heavy, slow motion truth, a midnight hue of passion from our earliest youth. It's a fierce desire, draped in chiffon and silk, the deep comfort of closeness, the quietest milk. This is velvet gravity, pulling us down to the floor. We don't need a single word, we just need more. I memorized the geography of where your collar lies, the tiny tremor of laughter reflected in your eyes. You trace the outline of the promise on the back of my hand, the language of soft pressure that we both understand. We trade confessions in a whisper, meant only for two, about the kind of stillness that only I receive from you. We're moving at the tempo of a classic soul track, knowing there's no turning back. No need to rush the moment, we earn the slow burn. Just let the indigo air dictate the turn. The way your shadow stretches long against the wall, anticipating the moment when the armor has to fall. This is a weightless kind of heavy, slow motion truth, a midnight hue of passion from our earliest youth. It's a fierce desire, draped in chiffon and silk, the deep comfort of closeness, the quietest milk. This is velvet gravity, pulling us down to the floor. We don't need a single word, we just need more. We suspended the clock at 3:15, maybe 4. Found the silence where we both knew what we were waiting for. This isn't just the momentary thrill of the dark, it's the essential current that holds the whole arc of who we are. When the volume is low and we finally allow the deepest parts to show. the slow burn, waiting for the morning light to return. Velvet gravity pulling me in effortlessly. Start where we end and end where we begin. Oh, velvet gravity. Oh, velvet gravity.
The city side just hit a low hump. Clock hands are slow. Now that the race is done, there's a certain weightlessness when your guard drops and the frantic static of the world stops. The only light is filtered through the blinds, casting ghost shapes on the things we leave behind. I trace the careful line of your collarbone. Everything we need is right here known. We share the day like a second skin. No need for frantic rush to begin. Just the air getting heavy and perfectly thin, where the quiet trust settles in. This is midnight velvet, the low light burn. Every lesson I thought I had to learn is forgotten when your kindness turns into the passion that waits its turn. A gentle fire in a silent room, chasing off the shadow of any looming gloom. Midnight velvet, soft and absolute, built on a feeling that is rooted, absolute. You speak low, a frequency only I can hear, pulling all the noise out of the atmosphere. It's in the quiet pulse, the weight your hand rests, the unspoken truth in all your small requests. I love the careful way you hold my face, treating every flaw like it's misplaced grace. We can hold the stillness without a sound until the breaking point where we both come unbound. We share the day like a second skin. No need for frantic rush to begin. Just the air getting heavy and perfectly thin, where the quiet trust settles in. This is midnight velvet, the low light burn. Every lesson I thought I had to learn is forgotten when your kindness turns into the passion that awaits its turn. A gentle fire in a silent room, chasing off the shadow of any looming gloom. Midnight velvet, soft and absolute, built on a feeling that is rooted, absolute. People confuse thunder for power, they crave the shock, but the deepest feeling is the slow, steady clock. This intimacy is tailored, cut from the darkest silk, warm on the skin, smooth as honeyed milk. It's a sanctuary you unlock. Every secret you kept hidden is laid bare on the dock. This is delicate, but it won't break. The kind of love you only make after midnight. Wake up, velvet hour. Just the rhythm of the breathing, slow and steady, slow receiving until the first sign of the daylight tries to intrude. Stay right here, sealed in the velvet midnight velvet.
City hums a low frequency, a sound the curtains catch. But in this room we built a silence that no sound can match. Clock says 3 a.m. but time surrendered its hold. The shadows stitch themselves together, gentle, soft and bold. I watch the way the moonlight breaks across the ceiling lines and wonder how the atmosphere so perfectly aligns. We drop the heavy burdens that the daylight makes us wear. It's just the quiet truth of what we found right here. Don't rush the moment, let the rhythm dip low. Every move is measured, every whisper is slow. We don't need the fire, we generate the heat. This is the pulse only we can keep. We keep. Midnight knows our language, it only speaks in hushed tones. This is the velvet hour, built on the softest moan, smooth as a river stone, deep as the sea at night. You make the darkness feel like the purest light. Intimacy in grayscale, passion in low supply. We let the feeling breathe and let the feeling fly. My fingers trace the outline of the promises you kept. The weight of the world lifted while the whole city slept. You read the hidden chapters I never let the daylight see. It's not just holding bodies, darling, you are holding me. There is a vulnerability only this hour brings, where every hidden doubt unfurls its fragile wings. You just catch them gently, never demanding proof. Shelter me beneath this quiet, soulful roof. Don't rush the moment, let the tempo dip low. Every breath is measured, every secret we know. We don't need the fire, we generate the heat. This is the rhythm only we can keep. Midnight knows our language, it only speaks in hushed tones. This is the velvet hour, built on the softest moan, smooth as a river stone, deep as the sea at night. You make the darkness feel like the purest light. Intimacy in grayscale, passion in low supply. We let the feeling breathe and let the feeling fly. Most people chase the thunder, the spectacle, the blinding flash.
But we found the sanctuary in the slow, silent crash of two souls meeting exactly where they need to be. This quiet devotion is everything to me. 1,000 soft good nights woven into one stream. Oh, this midnight magic is the only song I sing. Just keep it slow, baby. Keep it smooth like velvet, wrapped up in the softest kiss. Oh, the velvet kiss. Don't rush the light. Stay with me till the midnight turns white. The velvet hour. Just us. Oh. Clock face reading 2 a.m. The city's breath is slow. We're navigating shadows where the ambient streetlights glow. There's a silence in the space, a quiet that we own. And the air around your movements feels like velvet deeply sewn. I turn the dimmer down until the room is dipped in indigo. Only silver light remembers what the sun will never know. How the world outside dissolves when your attention settles here. And every single hurried thought I had just disappears. No, we don't rush this moment. We honor every beat. A steady low frequency, a perfect kind of heat. I'm tracing the soft outline where your neck meets your shoulder blade. A quiet anticipation for the promises unmade. This is our 80 BPM heartbeat, a slow burn fire we found. A passion in the midnight that makes no demanding sound. Out of velvet confession whispered, meant just for your ears. It's the gentle kind of loving that conquers all my fears. Oh, we're falling deeper, steady and defined. Oh, the greatest passion lies in being soft and unconfined. I'll watch the way your hands move. Careful architecture's built on trust that's far too precious to ever be misunderstood or spilled. You speak a language without words, a look that understands that the strongest grip we have is in the easing of our hands. No need for thunder or for lightning to illuminate the cross. Just the deep unwavering knowledge that nothing here is lost. You meet the tenderness I bring and multiply the grace. We find our truth hidden in this quiet stick. We let the rhythm take us adrift upon the tide. There is no map or compass, just nowhere left to hide. I'm tracing lines beneath your jaw where the shadow lies in wait, knowing that every slow decision seals a beautiful fate. This is our 80 BPM heartbeat, a slow burn fire we found. A passion in the midnight that makes no demanding sound. A velvet confession whispered, meant just for your ears. It's the gentle kind of loving that conquers all my fears. Oh, we're falling deeper, steady and defined. The greatest passion lies in being soft confined. Girl, yeah. I built my defenses high throughout the daylight hours, but you dismantled them with touch, not strength, but delicate powers. This intimacy is armor, it is sustenance and peace, a vulnerable intensity that I pray will never cease. The world can keep its chaos, my sanctuary is right here, held in this soft combustion, fueled only by the need. Just lean into the slow, yeah, the midnight air, in no that velvet confession. Keep it right here, 2 a.m. Just gentle, babe, just gentle. Holds its breath outside our window pane. Streetlights bleeding golden through the midnight rain. We shared the armor that we wore throughout the day, and let the careful silence wash the world away. You know the hours where the world is in a rush. This is the only moment built on nothing but a hush. Feel the tension melting off your shoulder lines, and realize that this stillness is a sacred sign. No need to rush the sunrise, we got miles left to roam. Every breath you take is bringing you back home. I need this connection to be slow, slow, deep and true. Yeah, the fire is still there, but I wanna savor you. Lay your head down on the velvet of the midnight. We are moving at the tempo of the heart's desire. I'm the gentle cartographer, tracing all your skylines. Slow fire, higher, higher. Don't rush the peak, we live right here beneath the ceiling. This is that soulful subterranean feeling. Midnight velvet touch, ain't nobody gonna see it. Just slow fire, and I truly mean it. Oh, oh. I trace the map of every worry you forget to keep, the quiet promises that surface when you fall asleep. My fingertips are learning every curve and every shade, a masterpiece of intimacy meticulously made. We trade the easy answers for the complicated truths, unraveling the history of all your former proofs. There's a power in this delicate approach we find, leaving all the loud commotion far behind. No need to rush the sunrise, we got miles left to roam. Every breath you take is bringing you back home. I need this connection to be slow, slow, deep and true. Yeah, the fire is still there, but I wanna savor you. Lay your head down on the velvet of the midnight. We are moving at the tempo of the heart's desire. I'm the gentle cartographer, tracing
chasing all your skylines. Slow fire, higher, higher. Don't rush the peak, we live right here beneath the ceiling. This is that soulful subterranean feeling. Midnight velvet touch, ain't nobody gonna see it. Just slow fire, and I truly mean it. We are suspended between the was and the will be. No clocks are counting seconds past this hour of 3. The air is thick with whispers that only we can speak. This fragile language carved from the deepest part of me. Let the passion have its way, but keep it soft and low. A perfect measured rhythm. Watch the embers glow. Yeah, yeah, just a slow fade deep into the velvet. Oh, the midnight cartographer, mapping out your heart. Slow fire, never fading, babe. It's just us in the velvet night. Slow, slow. Sounds have been resigned to a muted whisper on the glass. We drop the armor of the day, letting the frantic moments pass. The only light that cuts the shadows is the spill from the hallway fading low. And suddenly the silence is a language that only you and I know. Every frantic need I held before this has dissipated into the heat of your hand. We don't rush the conversation, we just let the feeling expand. There's no need for volume here, just a resonance against my chest. Oh, you bring me down to the quietest and absolute best rest. This is midnight, made of velvet, a slow rotation on the groove. Passionate but careful, careful, the way my spirit wants to move. Yeah, we sink into the indigo state, where every touch is a prayer, whisper soft. This isn't fire, it's a deep, deep warmth in the safety of the velvet, our love. I trace the architecture of your collarbone like I'm reading Braille I've known for years. You don't have to speak the words you carry, I can taste the history of your fears. But in this light, we are unburdened, just raw intention and soft decay. You are the architect of quiet grace, and I never want to face the day. Every frantic need I held before this has dissipated into the heat of your hand. We don't rush the we just let the feeling expand. There's no need for volume here, just a resonance against my chest. Oh, you bring me down to the quietest and absolute best rest. And since midnight, made of velvet, a slow rotation on the groove, passionate but careful, careful, the way my spirit wants to move. Yeah, we sink into the indigo stain, where every touch is a prayer, whispered soft. This isn't fire, it's a deep, deep warmth in the safety of the velvet. Our love. The world outside is sharp and hurried, but this room is buffered slow and wide. We stretch the minutes into decades, and there is nowhere left to hide. This is the moment I recognize the rhythm I was always meant to keep. A soulful 80 BPM surrender, where promises are whispered in your sleep. Just this ferret and the midnight gray. Don't move, don't change a thing. Let the texture linger. Oh, the velvet hour. Stay right here until the light bleeds gray again. The scent of sandalwood is heavy on the breath of the room. It's the only company since midnight shed its veil of gloom. I smooth the velvet cushion twice, check the battery on my phone. Just a vessel built for comfort, now I'm standing here alone. I dim the overhead light, let the city sign glow low, reflecting off the glass of Merlot, waiting for your show. The narrative I built tonight, it's cooling on the plate. I tried to hold the heat of it, but patience sealed its fate. And every passing headlight paints a fraction of hope on the wall, a shallow promise whisper, destined soon to fall. I keep imagining the friction of the key inside the lock. Every tick of the minute hand is a hammer on the clock. My solitude is humming now, 80 beats per minute slow. I'm counting distant sirens on the avenues below. This reservoir of quiet, it's spilling over the rim. Just a fraction of a key turn, keeping my spirit dim. Oh, the longing isn't loud, it's a deep vibrating chord. It's the space between two heartbeats where anticipation is stored. I pulled up all the memories we promised we would keep. The way you lean against the jam when I'm still half asleep. It's easier to trace the lines of where you ought to be than to acknowledge the vast empty space surrounding me. I hear the floorboards settle and I confuse it for your stride. I check the time again, 4:03 a.m., nowhere left to hide.
Are you caught in the momentum of a world that doesn't slow? Or is this the quiet consequence of seeds we didn't sow? I'm trying to convince myself that maybe you just lost the nerve, that this whole setup was a dream I didn't truly deserve. But I remember every promise you breathed into the air, and that small insistent hope that you still genuinely care. My solitude is humming now, 80 beats per minute slow. I'm counting distant sirens on the avenues below. This reservoir of quiet, it's spilling over the rim. Just a fraction of a key turn, keeping my spirit dim. Oh, the longing isn't loud, it's a deep vibrating chord. It's the space between two heartbeats where anticipation is stored. Frame outside, it's a rhythm in my own heart. I've been trying hard to hide, cause this is more than just a late night, more than just the wait. It's the realization that my silence mirrors my state. I'm always holding my breath, always anticipating, always preparing the stage for a moment I'm still creating. I'll leave the porch light on, the porch light on, just in case you make it home, just in case you make it. The shadows keep the time, they keep the time, and the weight is all mine. Still humming, 80 beats, just me.
Midnight oil and the blue light of the screen. Clock ticks slow, moving like a machine. But time itself is stuck between your promise and the ring. I'm cataloging silence, trying to remember how you sing. I left the streetlights burning, the apartment dark and deep, saving energy for the moment I can finally sleep. I tried to watch the news, but the noise was obsolete, cause every channel whispers secrets I don't keep. It's the quiet before the signal drops, the calm before the tide. I know the connection's coming, nowhere left for me to hide. I'm just listening for the reverb, the echo of your breath. Anticipation is a beautiful kind of death. I'm in a holding pattern, baby, 80 BPM slow. Just satellite delay on my soul, where did you go? This longing is the sweetest kind of cruel, I swear it's true. Anticipating the love I can't control, until I hear from you. I walk the perimeter of this floor 1,000 times, checking every notification for your coded pantomimes. The space you left is measured in empty coffee cups, and the way my patience slowly fills these silent waiting ups. I still smell the cedar and the amber that you wore, trapped inside the cotton of the sweater by the door. I know you're moving mountains, chasing down a dream, but in my solitude you are the only steady theme. It's the quiet before the signal drops, the calm before the tide. All the connections coming, nowhere left for me to hide. I'm just listening for the reverb, the echo of your breath. Anticipation is a beautiful kind of day. I'm in a holding pattern, baby, 80 BPM slow. Just satellite delay on my soul. Where did you go? This longing is the sweetest kind of cruel, I swear it's true. Anticipating the love I can't control until I hear from you. Oh, I could turn the key, step out and leave the waiting behind. Go find some temporary peace of mind. But every street sign points me back to this room where I committed to standing guard against the gloom. My dedication is built on faith, solid and tall. Just waiting for your gentle low frequency call. I'm in a holding pattern, baby, 80 BPM slow. Just satellite delay on my soul. Where did you go? This longing is the sweetest kind of cruel, I swear it's true. I swear it's true. Yeah, anticipating the love I can't control. Still on stand baby, waiting for the tone, waiting for the tone. This empty receiver's got me feeling so lonely. Just waiting on you, just waiting on you. Holding pattern, yeah. 80 BPM slow.
The ceiling fan is spinning slow, a tired metronome, measuring the heavy air inside this quiet home. I dusted all the surfaces, polished every frame, just to distract myself from whispering your name. My hands are cool, my concentration is a thread, rewinding every word you spoke before you fled. I know this separation is just the space we bridge, but loneliness built me a wall upon the window ledge. They say patience is a virtue, but my skin is worn thin now. I'm listening to the promise of the moment you allow yourself to finally turn the key. Forget the winding road and drop the burden of your journey and my front door load. I'm wrapped up in the silence, dressed in anticipation. This is the rhythm of my heart, a slow, low meditation. Oh, I need to know how many breaths until my future starts arriving. Calculating the miles and the street lights you are driving.
'Cause every minute that I wait is a diamond I can't afford to spend alone today. I left the TV volume low just so I don't miss the sound of your familiar engine turning, spinning on the ground. I brewed your favorite coffee blend, though it's far too late for caffeine. I need the ritual of ready, just to keep my patience clean. I've got your jacket hanging ready, right beside the wooden chair, tracing the collar with my thumb, pretending that your warmth is there. The low light is set perfect, amber hue upon the wall. I've rehearsed the way I'll stand before you even call. I'm running on the promise that the distance can't compete with the current running deep between my soul and your 2 feet. This hunger is a quiet fire, burning steady and low. The minute that I feel your key is the moment I let go. I'm wrapped up in the silence, dressed in anticipation. This is the rhythm of my heart, a slow, low meditation. Oh, I need to know how many breaths until my future starts arriving. Calculating the miles in the streetlight you are driving. Tell me how much longer till the quiet fades away. 'Cause every minute that I wait is a diamond I can't afford to spend alone today. This isn't just time passing, this is the space between 2 heartbeats. I built a sanctuary out of this yearning on these cold concrete streets. I've seen every shade of midnight, blue reflected on the pain, and I'm convinced that this conviction is the only thing that keeps me sane. I'm holding my breath for the payoff, for the weight of your body near. Erase the doubt, dissolve the loneliness, and simply reappear. Just reappear. Baby, the hallway light is glowing, waiting for the shadow it needs to cast. Keep running to me. Still calculating the miles. The silence is loud, but the promise is louder. Heartbeat, rhythm fades out.
City air is breathing cold against the pain tonight, and every shadow stretching out feels sharper in the light.
I left the jazz low, just enough to fill the silent gaps. The kind of stillness that reminds me there are no traps. Just open space, a reservation set for 2 hours. What the slow tick of the second hand is all I ever catch. My jacket's hanging on the chair, prepared for your return. A quiet ritual that I can never quite unlearn. I tried to busy my hands, rearrange the photographs, but every movement circles back down lonely measured paths. Why equilibrium is off, oh wait, I cannot place until I feel the gravity restore upon your face. Anticipation is a clock stuck on the 5-minute mark. 180,000 heartbeats waiting in the dark. Every second is a measured mile. I walk it slow and deep, trying to count the moments till the promise that you keep. 'Cause loneliness is not an absence, it's a blueprint made of you. A space protected, dusted clean for when you break right through. I know the sound your key makes when it finally hits the lug. I know the soft surrender when your world begins to dry. I feel the static in the air, the way you light the room. But right now all I feel is dampness, city rain and gloom. I keep the coffee warm, though bitter now from sitting too long. A simple offering to hope that maybe I'm not wrong. To invest this kind of stillness, this slow, meticulous wait, knowing that the reward for patience far outweighs the late. They say time heals, but time is spinning circles round my head, and every cushion on the sofa tells me what you said. That you'd be home when the street lights started dimming low, but the sun is hours from rising, and I still don't know. This anticipation is a clock stuck on the 5-minute mark. 180,000 heartbeats waiting in the dark. Every second is a measured mile. I walk it slow and deep, trying to count the moments till the promise that you keep. 'Cause loneliness is not an absence, it's a blueprint made of you. A space protected, dusted clean for when you break right through. Don't tell me that this patience is a weakness in my soul. This longing is the strongest thing that's making me feel whole. It's the faith that keeps the engine running smooth at 80 BPM. A rendered soulful dedication just to see your face again. So hey darling, don't you worry about the state I'm in. Just know that the whole wide world stops when you step in. Oh, this anticipation is a clock stuck on the 5-minute mark. 180,000 heartbeats waiting in the dark. Every second is a measured mile. I walk it slow and deep, trying to count the moments till the promise that you keep. 'Cause loneliness is not an absence, it's a blueprint made of you. A space protected, dusted clean for when you break right through. Oh, just break right through. Yeah. Step into the blueprint.
80 beats. Just waiting for that sound. The measured mind. It's only you.
Lights bleed yellow through the blinds tonight. It's past the hour where the honest sleep. Got a half-read novel and the lamp dim low light. Just keeping promises the darkness keeps. The city hums a frequency I don't wanna hear. When every silence carries your name, and I'm just sitting here battling the ancient fear, playing with the flicker of a distant flame. I know the morning's gonna steal the night away, but I can't let go of this moment's hold. This quiet is a melody I don't wanna play until the story that we share unfolds. Just one little vibration, just one signal you care, until the moment that my fortune turns. I'm suspended right here in the midnight air, watching every lonely candle burn. I'm running on anticipation fuel. My peace is tethered to your name. This kind of waiting isn't kind or cool. It's just a soulful, silent, burning flame. Yeah, I'm caught up in the rhythm of a long delay, counting down the seconds till you walk through the door. Till then, I just live underneath the lonely sky, begging for the one thing I'm longing for. The space beside me is a cooling sheet, still smelling faintly of your amber trace. A haunted echo in my private suite, wishing the dial tone wasn't talking space. They say I should be moving, say I should forget, but every shadow here just looks like you. This lonely velvet cage I haven't left means every waking bones belongs to you. I know the morning's gonna steal the night away, but I can't let go of this moment's hold. This quiet is a melody I don't wanna play until the story that we share unfolds. Just one little vibration, just one sign you care, until the moment that my fortune turns. I'm suspended right here in the midnight air, watching every lonely candle burn. Running on anticipation fuel. My peace is tethered to your name. This kind of waiting isn't kind or cool. It's just a soulful, silent, burning flame. Yeah, I'm caught up in the rhythm of the long delay, counting down the seconds till you walk through the door. Till then, I just live underneath the lonely sky, begging for the one thing I'm longing for. I'm counting every tick and every minute wasted, seconds past. I need the truth, baby. I need to know the score, 'cause I can't afford to be lonely anymore. Just stop this slow motion scene. Anticipation, baby. Yeah, I'm longing for the truth you bring. Just for the sound of your key. Or maybe a text message on my screen. Still waiting for you. Waiting for you. Yeah. Secondhand smoke, fading out. Ooh, I'm running out of air. Waiting for you there. Clock hand stuck in the velvet dark. The air conditioner sighs, leaving its mark. 3 sheets past midnight where shadows bleed thin. And the low city hum is where the loneliness kicks in. I'm running on coffee brewed 7 hours ago. A silent promise that you might still show. My mind's playing back every word that you spoke. A lonely memory, a beautiful joke. My thumb keeps tracing the screen's cracked light, searching for a signal in the dead of the night. Is this longing a weakness or just gravity's pull? 'Cause waiting for you makes me beautifully full. I'm breathing in anticipation, a slow, sweet burn. Every minute is a lesson that I refuse to learn. Trapped, waiting on your vibration, the frequency I need. Trapped in the quiet echo of a promised creed. This is the 4 a.m. frequency, only me and the air, and the desperate silence that you might still care. I recall the heat of your hand on my wrist, a silent contract sealed with one perfect kiss. Now the silence sounds like a dial tone's hum, a broken record of where you've come from. I rearrange the pillows, the sheets are all cool, trying to fight the gravity that pulls me back to you. I know I should sleep, turn the phone face down, but I'd miss the moment you pull me out of this town. My thumb keeps tracing the screen's cracked light, searching for a signal in the dead of the night. Is this longing a weakness or just gravity's pull? 'Cause waiting for you makes me beautifully full. I'm breathing in anticipation, a slow, sweet burn. Every minute is a lesson that I refuse to learn. Just waiting on your vibration, the frequency I need. Trapped in the quiet a promise creeping. This is the 4 a.m. frequency, only me and the air, and the desperate silence that you might still care. Maybe the thrill is the gap between the calls, the way my resolve breaks before it stands tall. 'Cause hope is a current and I'm wired too tight, stuck in this beautiful isolating light. I crave the connection, the smooth R&B groove of your presence, the rhythm that you always approve. But that anticipation is a rhythm all its own, a painful bass line played when I'm alone. Slow, sweet burn. Every minute is a lesson that I refuse to learn. Just waiting on your vibration, the frequency I need. Trapped in the quiet echo of a promise creed. This is the 4 a.m. 4 a.m. and I'm still awake, just waiting for that promise that you have to make. The frequency, it's tuned to you, babe. I'm caught in a low light haze, waiting for the frequency to hit me. Oh, just a flicker, a signal. 4 a.m. The city science finally muted past 2 a.m. The furnace kicks a ghost of warmth into the air again. I've walked the perimeter of this living room 5 times, counting dust and motes in the moonlit window blind. They say patience is a virtue, but my soul is restless. The silence has a weight I never knew before, it's endless. And the hum of the refrigerator is the only baseline tonight. Ticking off the seconds until you bring the dawn and light. My thumb is tracing circles round your contact name, a burning hesitation fighting back the urge to call your name. I know you're coming, I know you're trying to break through, but anticipation is a hollow room I can't escape from you. This is the 80 BPM way, living life on satellite delay. Every breath I take is overdue, I promise you will keep. I'm running on borrowed light, darling, while the whole world sleeps. Oh, this longing is the only gravity I feel. It keeps me planted here, anticipating what is real. Until I hear the key turned in the lock, the sound I memorized. Just hold me close when you arrive, apologize with your eyes. Oh, I pulled your favorite sweater from the back of the closet shelf. It still smells like sandalwood and distance, a version of yourself. I sat down in the armchair where you always used to lean, and tried to conjure up the ghost of the comfort that had been. I'm rehearsing all the conversations we need to start, memorizing every line of how I'll guard my heart.
But all the careful choreography will shatter when you walk inside. Because all I really needed was for you to stand right by my side. The darkness is a velvet screen where I project your face, trying to find the angle that explains this lonely space. I know you're coming, I know you're trying to break through, but anticipation is a hollow room. I can't escape from you. This is the 80 BPM way, living life on satellite delay. Every breath I take is overdue, I promise you will keep. I'm running on borrowed light, darling, while the whole world sleeps. Oh, this longing is the only gravity I feel. It keeps me planted here, anticipating what is real. Until I hear the key turn in the lock, the sound I memorize. Just hold me close when you arrive, apologize with your eyes. Tell me the space between us is earning interest, that this solitude is necessary, that it's blessed. Because if I knew the reason, the minutes wouldn't crawl so slow. I need a destination for the love I need to show. I keep checking the porch light just to make sure it's still burning bright. A lonely beacon fighting back the cold black night. I hold the silence like a breath I can't afford to lose. This is the 80 BPM way, living life on satellite delay. Every breath I take is overdue, I promise you will keep. I'm running on borrowed light, darling, while the whole world sleeps. Oh, this longing is the only gravity I feel. It keeps me planted here, anticipating what is real. Until I hear the key turn in the lock, the sound I memorize. Just hold me close when you arrive, apologize with your eyes. Oh, just hold me close, just hold me close. Yeah, apologize with your eyes. ADP, just waiting here for you.
Streetlights bleeding orange through the blinds. I'm a portrait of patience running out of line. Silence is heavy, I can hear my own mind. That old grandfather clock is usually just a chime, but tonight it's a metronome, marking all the things I lack. Every slow tick pushing my resolve back. I put the record on low, some vintage soul groove, but even Marvin can make the stillness move. I know the promise you whispered on the wire, said you were coming home, set my spirit on fire. Now I'm just watching the shadow shift across the floor, praying anticipation doesn't turn into sorrow at the door. I've had 3 cups of lukewarm clarity, trying to make this lonely space feel like company. This is the anatomy of a waiting night, half expectation, half dimming light, holding space for the moment you arrive, just to prove to my heart that we are still alive. The sweet heavy ache of anticipation, baby, come on and break this blue meditation, baby. I'm just a spend in the unfolding hour, waiting for the rain to break, waiting for your power. I could be asleep right now, tucked away and dreaming,
but I need to feel the energy that your presence is beaming. I polished every surface, rearranged the air, like preparing a stage for a moment we share. Every time a car slows down outside my window pane, my whole body tenses, then sinks down again. I miss the static sound of your key in the lock. I'm running on faith, watching the hands of the clock. I'm tracing the lines of the picture you sent me yesterday, remembering exactly why I'm willing to stay and fight off the chill that tries to creep in the dark, leaving my vulnerability exposed like a spark. Just gotta trust the commitment you laid down when you swore you'd find your way back to this town. This is the anatomy of a waiting night, half expectation, half dimming light. I'm holding space for the moment you arrive, just to prove to my heart that we are still alive. Oh, the sweet heavy ache of anticipation, baby. Come on and break this blue meditation, baby. I'm just suspending the unfolding hour, waiting for the rain to break, waiting for your power. Tell me, is this a fool's vigil I'm keeping? Did the open road rise up and catch you sleeping? No, I gotta fight the worry that tries to creep in the cracks, 'cause my soul remembers the strength of your tracks. I know the distance is nothing to the weight of our connection, so I hold the faith in your ultimate direction. I just need the proof that the stillness is temporary. This is the anatomy of a waiting night, half expectation, half dimming light. Only space for the moment you arrive, just prove to my heart that we are still alive. Oh, the sweet heavy ache of anticipation, baby. Come on and break this blue meditation, baby. I'm just suspending the unfolding hour, waiting for the rain to break, waiting for your power. I'm leaving the porch light on for you, alright. Just one breath, then one more, unfolding, unfolding, until I hear the gravel crunch beneath your thighs. Hoping, waiting. Oh. Streetlights bleed gold on the window pane, just like they did last night. It's 2 a.m. and the forecast is still promising a brilliant sudden light. I've worn a groove in the hardwood floor between the kitchen and the phone, pacing slow, letting the heavy quiet convince me that I'm truly alone. But the clock on the mantle, it skips the hours, playing tricks on my view. I swear the minute hand pauses just to remind me I'm waiting for you. This air is thick with all the things I could say, trapped like smoke against the ceiling. And these silk sheets feel like winter, they're cold evidence of a feeling. I keep the porch light burning low, just enough to mark the way. A lighthouse meant for one lost soul who swore he'd come back yesterday. And every phantom car that slows on the curb, my heart forgets how to be. Just another stranger passing by, completing the routine of my defeat. I'm living on the 62nd day, stuck in the ember of anticipation, chatting constellations on a dust, fueled only by hopeful desperation. My longing is a low
sustained frequency, a soulful hum beneath the quiet. I've paid the cost of loving you like this, an endless soulful lonely riot. Whoa, waiting on the turn of a promise I know is real, but God, the loneliness I feel. Pulled your sweater from the closet just to check that your scent was fading. Finding comfort in the residue of moments we were building, not evading. I recall the lazy curve of your smile, the way you'd pull me closer when I talk too fast. Examining the shadows, wondering how long this slow motion could possibly last. Oh, the moon is a spotlight, cruel and white, exposing every corner of this vacant room. It spotlights every empty space you should be filling, pushing through the gloom. I try to busy myself with silence, perfecting the art of being still, but the R&B groove of my own restless heart is shaking me against my will. I keep the porch light burning low, just enough to mark the way. A lighthouse meant for one lost soul who swore he'd come back yesterday. And every phantom car that slows on the curb, my heart forgets how to be just another stranger passing by, completing the routine of my defeat. I'm living on the 62nd day, stuck in the amber of anticipation. I'm charting constellations in the dust, fueled only by hopeful desperation. My longing is a low, sustained frequency, a soulful hum beneath the quiet. Of loving you like this, an endless soulful lonely riot. Waiting on the turn of a promise I know is real, but God, the loneliness I feel. Maybe I'm a fool for believing in the gravity of two souls colliding. Maybe I should cut the power to this hope and stop obsessively hiding. But my whole timeline is synchronized to your return flight. I can't reset the climb. Oh, I've cancelized the quiet. It's my custom-made ticking sound block. So let the world spin fast outside, let the seasons shift and fade. I'll stay rooted in this moment, the sacrifice I've so fully made. Yeah. I'm here, just waiting. Yeah, 62nd day. Oh, the lonely day. I can't leave this window. Just wait. Anticipation, slow burn. Wait. For the brilliant sudden light.
The street lights bleed through the window pane, turning the dust motes into silver rain. It's midnight, maybe two, I lost the tether to the tick-tock, trying to keep it all together. My heart is running slow, a borrowed tempo, slower than the hands on the mantelpiece echo. I bought the expensive quiet, and now it's costing me. Just watching for your ghost in the geometry of the empty room. I keep tracing the worn lines of a memory. The last glance you threw back, a whispered guarantee. Now the phone is just a mirror, dark and cold, reflecting back a story that hasn't been told. And the air is heavy with the things I didn't say, waiting for the moment that you finally come my way. This anticipation is a velvet kind of torture, a slow burn signal that I can't ignore. I'm suspended in the echo of a promise, in this time zone where I'm standing all alone. Darling, I'm just counting down until your name comes home, until I can finally break this silence bone by bone. Cause I'm tired of residing in this almost space, just me and the ghost of your embrace. I've rearranged the cushions just to feel a change, but the absence of your laughter feels strange. I pull your old sweater tight against my chest, searching for the residue of where your spirit rests. It's lonely in the glow of a future that's delayed. Every single minute feels like a parade of misconnections and whispered desperation, this fragile aching hunger for conversation. I keep tracing the worn lines of a memory. The last glance you threw back, a whispered guarantee. And the air is heavy with the things I didn't say, waiting for the moment that you finally come my way. This anticipation is a velvet kind of torture, a slow burn signal that I can't ignore. I'm suspended in the echo of a promise, in this time zone where I'm standing all alone. Darling, I'm just counting down until your name comes home, until I can finally break this silence bone by bone. Cause I'm tired of residing in this almost space, just me and the news of hurrying way. If I could press pause on the calendar sheet, or jump the timeline to the moment our eyes meet, I wouldn't have to carry this heavy shadow, wishing on a street light just to make the current flow. I'm running on fumes of what we used to be, just holding on to faith and fragile certainty. Oh, the longest minute is the one that's spent hoping this isolation's temporary, heaven sent. Anticipation is a velvet kind of torture, it's torture, babe. No reverse signal that I can't ignore. I'm suspended in the echo of a promise, in this time zone where I'm standing all alone. Darling, I'm just counting down until you're never. Every second I can finally break this silence bone by bone. Cause I'm tired of residing in this almost space, just me and the ghost of your embrace. Just the silence and the sound of my own breath, waiting for the ender, this sweet loneliness. Come home, baby, break the spell. Break the spell. is tracing patterns on the paint tonight. It's 80 BPM, but the beat feels too slow. I poured out yesterday's coffee, left the kitchen light, a subtle beacon for the place I want you to know. I swept the dust motes off the photographs we took, but the smile in that frame doesn't easy. I'm reading through the chapter where the story shook, just clinging to the promise we swore we would make. I check my phone again for that one phantom chime, knowing the distance is just killing my time. I replay every voicemail, dissecting every pause, searching for the certainty, defying all the laws of physics and space that keep you far away. Oh, this is the cost, anticipation, living life on standby station. My heart is a drum against the beautiful silence. I'm caught here in this lonely, slow defiance, spinning the globe, trying to find your longitude. Just me and the memory of your solitude. I'm counting down the seconds, minute by every minute, waiting for the moment that you finally feel it. I left your side of the bed untouched and cold, just the impression of your shape where you used to lie. I rearranged the clothes you left behind, bold, hoping your scent wouldn't finally fade and die. I hear the echo of our laughter down the hall when the street lights outside shift from amber to blue. And I know I shouldn't answer every single call if it doesn't lead directly back to you. I check my phone again for that one phantom chime, knowing the distance is just killing my time. I replay every voicemail, dissecting every pause, searching for the certainty, defying all the laws of physics and space that keep you far away. Oh, this is the flow of anticipation, living life on standby station. Heart is a drum against the beautiful silence. I'm caught here in this lonely, slow defiance, spinning the globe, trying to find your longitude. It's me and the memory of your solitude. I'm counting down the seconds, minute by every minute, waiting for the moment that you finally feel it. Some folks tell me to move on, let the feeling fade, say this waiting game is a fool's parade, but they don't understand the gravity of your touch. And honey, I just want you so much. I built a fortress of patience, brick by broken brick, praying the foundation doesn't suddenly crack. 'Cause there's no place in the world I'd rather be than right here at the threshold, waiting for you to come back. Oh, this is the cost of anticipation. Stay on standby station. My heart is a drum against the beautiful silence. I'm caught here in this lonely, slow defiance, spinning the globe, trying to find your longitude. It's me and the memory of your solitude. I'm counting down the seconds, minute by every minute, waiting for the moment that you finally feel it. Just feel it, baby. The outright static is almost done. Oh, I hear the key turning, I can feel the ending of the wait. I knew you
you'd come.
Street lights, melting gold on the window pane. Yeah, the city's humming a slow, electric refrain.
I left the latch lifted, the lock half turned, just in case the lesson hasn't been learned. It's 2:15, and the silence here is deep. The only vow I hold is the one I keep. The fine glass sitting, chilled and fog, waiting for the moment it's uncorked. I smooth the linen, though it's still untouched, praying that tonight you want it just as much. The low lamp casting shadows, soft and warm. I engineer the calm before the storm of your arrival. The way you fill the air, but I'm alone in this perfect atmosphere. Funny how loud the echoes are between the clock tick and the setting star. This luxury of waiting, it wears me thin, wondering where you stop and where I begin. I'm waiting on the cadence of your keys, a slow necessary aching tease. This lonely dissipation is my song, been standing in this future far too long. Yeah, this room is only half alive right now, just a hollow drum that doesn't know how to beat until the weight of your return gives the quiet fire I hold permission to burn. I check the screen, the blue light makes me blind. No misconnection, no single line to find. You said wait up, baby, I'll be late but true. But the late is long and the promise feels blue. I trace the dust motes dancing in the beam, trapped inside this complicated dream. Maybe I love the promise more than the touch, because the quiet here demands so much. I could just walk out, leave the latch undone, tell the clock that my waiting race is run. But I can't move from the scene I've set. I haven't breathed that sigh of relief yet. I'm waiting on the cadence of your keys, a slow necessary aching tease. This lonely dissipation is my song, been standing in this future far too long. Yeah, this room is only half alive right now, just a hollow drum that does
unclaimed hour. Just turn the lock, please. Yeah, I'm right here, baby, waiting on your touch. Do you even know how much? You can't sign your key. I'll keep this heat right here. Until then, just breathe slow. The unclaimed hour.